and welcome everybody to this week's Market Share, the short weekly segment brought to you by MKR, where we bring you all the noteworthy news and updates surrounding digital media and the world today. I'm your host Genevieve, and we've got some cool stories for you today, so let's get started. First up today, let's talk about a few ways you can protect your ability to advertise effectively in this day and age. The first topic we'll cover is podcast advertising and some steps that companies are taking to ensure the safety of their brand. For many brands, podcast advertising still feels relatively unpredictable, especially depending on what kind of company they're coming from. For example, categories like banking are very risk-averse and conservative in their messaging. They don't want to be associated with certain topics like terrorism, misinformation, and sensitive social issues, but this is just like other brands. Companies like Acast can help brands determine in real time whether their ad should be played on a certain show or not, based on several different factors. But we think brands are making it too complicated. When you want to use podcast advertising as a media channel, you need to know the exact audience you're going after. Yes, this takes more time and effort researching, but I can guarantee it would save loads of money to go towards something more important. So get deep into the shows you feel you can advertise on. Look for discrepancies between their audience and your own target audience. And use resources like Google or even Reddit to see where your audience interests lie. The second topic within this discussion of protecting your ability to advertise is a new resource from Meta that is shockingly transparent compared to what we're used to. Meta has recently released a new guide on how brands can mitigate data loss as a result of new privacy changes. For anyone who's still struggling to get their head around how to advertise with different privacy levels than before, make sure you read up. The impact of losing signal on your marketing tactics comes with many risks, from losing the ability to track across sites, retarget an audience, or control the frequency of your ads being displayed. And as the years continue, it's just going to get more challenging. Here's a reminder that by 2024, third-party cookies are expected to be deprecated. The guide outlines 4 strategies necessary to combat signal loss. 1. Have the right workflow in place early on to increase efficiency. 2. Utilize a steering committee to more readily disseminate communications and gain more stakeholder engagement. 3. Train across teams and identify synergies in order to quickly adjust to changes in business conditions. And 4. Exert greater ownership over your first-party data by mobilizing and growing your in-house staff. There are many things that you can do to prepare for the impending changes in advertising. You just have to find the right resources. Next up, let's talk about 2 cool advertising campaigns that are looking to change the way you look at your ability to accomplish something amazing. The first of the 2 campaigns is the Pinterest campaign named Don't Yourself, which markets the platform as accepting and ambition-driven, free of self-censorship and negativity. At this point in time, there is a lot of negativity on social media, which has impacted mental health more and more over the years, especially with how addictive the platforms are. Obviously, when you think about social media affecting your mental health, Pinterest is not exactly at the top of your list. Still, they're trying to both take a stand for the Pinterest community and maybe become a more inviting platform for users while they're at it. The 5 different spots cover different happiness saboteurs, like procrastination, judgment, fear of failure, inner critic, and doom scrolling, to encourage consumers to step outside of their comfort zone and try something new. Although we don't love the campaign name, it's nice to see a platform out there doing some good in the world. The second brand that's taking a stand against the inner critic is Under Armour. In a new spot, Tom Brady asks Morgan Freeman to read a letter he wrote to an up-and-comer being called the next Tom Brady. The note instructs the recipient to compare themselves to nobody but the kid in the mirror. In this day and age where Fitspo is being thrown in your face around every corner, and it's near impossible not to compare the seemingly perfect people you see on the internet, campaigns like this are so important to bring people back to reality and remind them to stay true to themselves. Gone are the days of be like Mike advertising, and incoming messages to Gen Z to ditch the comparisons and keep their energy centered around self-improvement. Brands should take notes on both of these campaigns as we enter a time that the next generation needs to be reminded that they matter just as much as anyone else they see on the internet. Last up today, let's talk about a CSR effort that, if done right, could influence their industry counterparts to follow suit. We all know that Corona and Coors Light are very different brands with very different messaging, but their sustainability marketing programs show a united effort from the industry to be better in terms of improvement. As climate change has become a bigger and bigger concern for consumers, especially the new generation of consumers, sustainability also becomes a huge concern for advertisers. Surprise, surprise. When campaigns like this are done right, the company is actually making an impact, and the company is influencing other stakeholders within the industry to be better, then we would say the campaign is a success. But when the campaign doesn't come from a place of genuine care for the cause, it could actually impact consumer preference and perception of the brand. In other words, don't do it just to do it, because greenwashing is quick to be called out. We are ecstatic that brands like Molson Coors and Corona are integrating sustainability into product production. The main message to take away from this story is that Gen Z cares about sustainability, but they're also extremely ready to call you out on an effort they can tell doesn't mean much to you other than increasing profits. So maintain a genuine nature as much as possible, and put the right sustainability foot forward for the world, not just for your shareholders' wallets. That's all for this week's Market Share. My name's Genevieve, and I'll see you all next week. Companies like Acast can comes with many risks, from losing the ability to track across,